Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, Wednesday, June 4th of 2025. I'm Gio Benacourt, and this is a recording done right about an hour prior to the U.S. session open by Vantage Markets. All right, well, we're seeing that big tech is back on top. Investors are returning to the familiar comforts of the Magnificent Seven stocks in the face of the tariff concerns, but safe haven they are not. So the Nasdaq Composite is back in positive territory in terms of the year so far, and technology stocks are the driving force. And we have chipmaker Nvidia is the world's most valuable company again for the first time since January, as the artificial intelligence trade thrives despite U.S.-China tensions. And President Trump, is now making it easy after saying that posting an overnight media social post saying that he labeled China's Xi Jinping as extremely hard to make a deal with. So this is not going to obviously be any good. Also today we just received the ADP jobs report and came in lower than expected. It was expecting about 110,000 jobs, and it came out on 37,000 jobs. But the positive thing about this is that wages are strong, still strong. So companies are seeing that the work is being done. So the wages are still strong. So therefore, also we're not seeing that any layoffs are imminent. So once we start hearing about layoffs starting to happen across companies in the United States, then we most likely be seeing a obviously red across the board and panicking setting in. So keep that in mind. Friday's jobs report, the expectation is about 125,000, around that level. Anything short of that, obviously lower than 100K, we could probably see right at the beginning, right when the news come out, something similar of what's happened today. Let's just go down to half an hour to show you what happened. So that red candle is what we saw as the ADP numbers came out, and it was negative because it was expected to be 110,000, and it came out 37,000, and so we saw a sell-off on that particular news. So on Friday we see something particular that most likely will happen again. So now, as for today, market fluctuation, again, this could just be just panicking, selling, just profit taking as well. Could be some profit taking could be having place. Now, looking at this particular short time frame, half an hour time frame, we've seen, and let me just contract the chart so we can have a better view of what has happened in recent events. So we're seeing how the market was basically making equal highs, equal lows, waiting for the news. The news came out, it did a little bit of head fake and then dropped. It bounced off the lower Bollinger Band, which is basically where I'm going to be placing my first level of support. And after that rebound, or that retracement, it closed that time frame, this candle closed above the 50-day moving average, which gave it that dynamic support, and looking to continue this trend higher. But the medium of the Bollinger Band, which is a 20-day moving average, acted as resistance so far, and is holding off the market right there. So can we say that this will at the open, this will make the market continue to trend lower, or are we able to close above that 20-day moving average, and therefore giving us another leg higher to recover all of this strong movement to the downside? That's what we need to come in and speculate, obviously analyze. So I'm doing this an hour prior to the U.S. session open. The first hour of the U.S. session open will give us the range of the market's fluctuation. We will have, for that hour, we have the high and the low. For right now, let's just use this candle's fluctuation just so we obviously have some levels. I'm gonna be using also psychological values, 21,800, and then 21,620 as my second. And so far in this, and I'm gonna stay in half an hour scenario. So let's see if we're able to close, or are we gonna be looking to revisit that low from the last half hour? Let's see what will happen between now and the session, U.S. session open. Then we have here the same as for the S&P. Let me just bring this levels, this lines. I'm gonna clone this line so I could have a second level, and I'm gonna clone this one also second level. So again, I'm gonna be using that swing low, that swing high for my first levels of resistance support. Then as far as my second one, 6,000 is psychological, right? Looking again to the left. So basically that's what it's going to be. As far as the second level, I'm going to choose the lower boundary is too tight. It's too close to it. So I'm going to use the curve of the lower boundary band and as a second level. Perhaps at this hour, at this half hour, the market could probably just fluctuate as we're seeing right now. It's pushing lower. Let's see if the 50-day moving average will hold. We'll find buyers there, and then hold the price above it. Let's see what will happen between now and the open. Again, Dow. Oosh. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna clone this line, and I'm gonna clone this line. I'm gonna open up the chart so I wanna see better. So I'm gonna choose that particular high, that particular low, right about the 50 moving average anyhow, 42,720. And then I'm gonna come in and start looking for 42,500. It jumps at me. Now let's see. Hey, it's looking to continue a push lower. Let's see. Let's go back into the other assets. Okay, only the Dow is doing that. All right, crude oil. Well, so Iran talks have stalled. Then most likely all of these impulses on crude oil from Iran are going to be maintained on them. So it's going to restrain also the global supply. Also, yesterday there was a wildfires in Canada, and that put a stop in production. So we saw particularly that move into the upside yesterday, but obviously now we're seeing some trending lower after trying to make a nice move to the upside during the London session. So it is trending lower right now. Let's see how much lower would it go. I'm actually gonna just do 62.60, and then as far as resistance, I'm gonna just choose the middle of both the 50 and the 20, and then I'm gonna use that swing high. So that's half hour. Let's take a look at Nat Gas. So Nat Gas, it made some sort of movement to the upside. It's trending lower. It was trending lower. So initially, the 50-day moving average jumps at me. I'm gonna use the upper boundary band. As far as support, let's use the lower boundary band and 340 as maybe those right there, right? Just contract the short and see what else can we see. I mean, we could also use this double bottom here as a possible second level of support. Let's see where will Nat Gas stop. If it has already stopped and will recover. I mean, this is a doji. Obviously, looking for indecision of the market. You're pointing indecision of the market. So let's see what will happen. Now we have gold. So gold was betting on having lower interest rates, which it helps gold having lower interest rates. But as interest rates are being looking to be stalled by the Fed, it has taken a beating, or it has taken a punch. Also, the divergence between gold and the dollar index, yesterday, it popped to the upside, so it put pressure on all metals. So let's just use this values. Okay, so we could come in and use the retracement tool and just measure this movement to the downside and see the golden ratio is right about there. So that's how it's being hit already. So the market will come again towards it, and then from here again turn around and make another lower leg, or will it continue to move higher? So if we want to measure that movement to the upside, well, let's just move from the doji to the high to the low where it's at so far, and we've seen that the extension has already met. So moving to the upside, continuing. Let's see how much of a recovery will it have? Is the dollar index taking a beating, or is it fluctuating to the downside? Let's see what will happen. So silver, I'm going to use that swing low and that double top. I'm going to clone now just to give it a second level. Also here, second level, $34. I mean, let's see, because it's basically making equal highs, equal lows prior, and now it's breaking out of that, breaking down out of that. Let's see if it will hold there or will continue to move higher. And then we have copper, which copper was making a nice move to the upside. It was just making fantastic moves. Let's take a look at now at possible levels. 478. There we have those puppies there. All right, so actually I'm gonna make 484. Then we're gonna have Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it rallied and it moved beyond our levels of resistance, and it just dropped. So 104.8 is where it has found some resistance. I'm gonna use a medium, clone that line. Is it 50? Clone this line, and I'm gonna use 104,600. So it doesn't make any sense for me to obviously choose that swing low as support, even though it's psychological. But it's just to point out how psychological values do work out. So I'm just gonna put it right a bit lower than that, and I'm actually anticipating a recovery of Bitcoin. I could be wrong. That's what happens. Then the euro. So we obviously are gonna be receiving an ECB rate decision. Will it cut? Most likely it will. Let's see what will happen. Then 114,200. Sorry about that. Then the 50-day moving average gives me that nice level of support for the euro, and I'm gonna come down and take a look at this area right here, because it just triple bottom here, even though it was broken. But 3 candles here, market did fluctuate a bit lower than that, but then it moved higher. So let's see if that will hold. And then 114,340 ish. I want 40, but Give it to me. Then we have the pound. So the pound is pounding away. All right, so let's do this, and let's do this. So the 200-day moving average, which is this line, this red line, is coinciding with the lower Bollinger Band, so that's where I'm placing my level of support. 50-day moving average is in the medium, the 20-day moving average is below the market, so looking to fluctuate to the upside. Let's see if that'll be good enough for it. Now, dollar index, it tanked because of that news. So 98.80, and I'm gonna use the 50-day moving average for it. So it did drop strongly. Let's see if it'll make another leg down. The dollar index, it's been for the last decades been doing, well, actually last few years is done pretty much move higher, but it is now trending lower. So yeah, let's see how much lower will it go. Obviously, the dollar index needs to for all these tariff scenarios, it needs to be cheaper in order for obviously other countries to come in and be able to pay that off in a way. So let's see. Well, as we see that the dollar index continues to move lower, we'll see a recovery in the metals and the currencies. Obviously, indices will take a dive as well. Let's see if it stops here and recovers, or will continue, or will start trading sideways. We'll find out about the market opens in about 40 minutes from now. So let's see what will happen. For you to have watched, I'll do another recording of the markets after the first hour of trading. When the market opens, an hour passes by, I'll do a recording about where the market has done, and identify the high and the low of the balance, initial balance, is what we call it, initial balance, and then see whether the markets could continue to fluctuate from there. All right, that's it for me today. Have a great trading day. I'll see you in, that'll make it in about an hour. Well, actually 40 minutes from now, the market opens. So about an hour and 40 minutes, I'll be doing this recording. Bye now.